They said the phones started buzzing before sunrise in Chicago, not with music drops, not with tour updates, but with one sentence that made everybody stop breathing. Durk might actually have to face this one. Fans are shocked because this time, the rumors didn't sound like internet noise. They sounded like paperwork, courtrooms, and real consequences. According to whispers spreading through the city and online at the same time, Lil Durk isn't just fighting headlines anymore. The talk is that prosecutors are circling, and OTF might be forced to stand together as one unit in a courtroom, not a studio. And what really shook people? The name Chief Keef's cousin Tadoe being dragged into the same conversations, with Chicago streets suddenly feeling smaller than ever. Emotions ran high when a so-called insider claimed this wasn't about music, beef, or clout. It was about decisions made years ago finally catching up, allegedly. Meetings have been happening behind closed doors. Lawyers on speed dial, phones going quiet. One voice message that leaked says, "If this go to trial, everything changes." That line alone sent fans into a frenzy. The family was left divided as people close to the camps reportedly disagreed on the next move. Some believe Durk should fight it head on, stand tall with OTF, and prove the rumors wrong. Others allegedly begged him to step back, protect his family. And think about what's really at stake. One person supposedly said, "This ain't rap no more. This real life." And then there's Chicago itself. The city that made them is now the setting for the most dangerous chapter yet. Fans are shocked by how quickly celebration turned into tension. One moment it's legacy talk, the next it's trial speculation. And nobody knows what's real, what's exaggerated, or what's being kept quiet on purpose. So before you dismiss this as another wild headline, ask yourself why so many people are moving different right now, why the silence feels heavy, and why this rumor refuses to die. Because if even half of what's being whispered is true, the next chapter won't be written in a song, but in a courtroom. The moment the rumor hit, the energy around OTF shifted in a way fans had never seen before. This wasn't a diss record, a vague lyric, or a cryptic caption. This was people whispering about court dates, indictments, and the possibility that Lil Durk might have to stand in front of a judge with his whole movement under a microscope. Fans are shocked because the talk didn't feel like clout chasing. It felt organized, detailed, and way too specific to ignore. According to what's being whispered, this situation didn't come out of nowhere. People close to the circle say there had been quiet tension for months, subtle changes nobody paid attention to at first, meetings happening without phones, conversations stopping when certain people walked into the room. One insider allegedly said, "You could feel it coming, like everybody was waiting on bad news." That feeling only intensified when names connected to Chicago's deepest roots started popping up in the same breath as serious charges. What really sent emotions through the roof was the claim that OTF wasn't just being mentioned as an association, but as a unit. The rumor is that prosecutors are looking at patterns, relationships, and past situations, trying to build a bigger picture instead of a single narrative. Fans are shocked because that kind of approach doesn't just threaten one person, it puts everyone around them under pressure. Suddenly, loyalty isn't just about music anymore, it's about who's willing to stand tall when things get ugly. Inside the camp, the emotional weight is rumored to be heavy. One person close allegedly said Durk had been quieter than usual, more focused, more guarded, no unnecessary posts. No reckless energy, just business and family. Another voice claimed he told someone, "I done lost too much to play with this." A line that instantly spread through fan pages like wildfire. Whether that quote is real or not, it fits the mood people say he's been in. Meanwhile, Chicago itself feels like a character in this whole situation. The city's history, the old alliances, the unresolved beefs, all of it being dragged back into conversations fans thought were long over. And the mention of Chief Keef's cousin Tadoe added another layer of complexity because that name alone carries history. Fans are shocked seeing how quickly old connections are being re-examined, like the past is being replayed in slow motion under a legal lens. Family reactions, according to rumors, have been mixed and emotional. Some relatives are said to be pushing for calm, urging everyone to let lawyers handle everything and keep their names clean. Others allegedly feel betrayed by how much risk came with fame, questioning whether the lifestyle was worth this level of scrutiny. The family was left divided, with arguments about whether to speak publicly or stay silent and let the storm pass. Friends and associates are rumored to be choosing their words carefully now. Group chats quieter, calls shorter. One person allegedly joked, "Everybody's scared to say the wrong thing, but nobody laughed." Fans are shocked by how fear can change dynamics overnight, turning confidence into caution. Even small actions like who shows up where and who doesn't are being analyzed by the internet like evidence. Online, the reactions have been explosive. Some fans are defending Durk fiercely, saying this is just another example of the system targeting successful black men from the streets. Others are more conflicted, saying they love the music but can't ignore how serious the rumors sound. While comment sections are filled with debates, prayers, and accusations with emotions running high on every side. Adding fuel to the fire are claims that meetings with legal teams have already taken place. Allegedly, advice is being given to stay low, avoid certain people, and prepare for all outcomes. One supposed insider claimed someone said, "If this go to trial, it's bigger than music," a sentence that keeps repeating because of how final it sounds. Fans are shocked because trials mean exposure. Oh, and exposure means stories coming out that nobody can control. Through all of this, silence has been the loudest sound. No direct denials, no confirmations, just careful moves and tightened circles. And in today's culture, silence gets interpreted in 100 different ways. Some see it as guilt, others see it as strategy. The family was left divided, watching strangers argue over what quiet really means. And what makes this moment feel different from past controversies is the sense of permanence hanging in the air. This isn't something that goes away with a new hit song or viral clip. If the rumors hold any truth, this is about legacy, freedom, and survival. Fans are shocked realizing that the same streets that built icons can also become the setting where everything gets tested. And as the city watches, the internet refreshes, and the whispers keep growing. And one thing becomes clear: whatever happens next will change how people look at OTF, Chicago, and Lil Durk forever. Whether the rumors turn out to be true, exaggerated, or something in between. As the rumors kept circulating, the pressure reportedly started showing in unexpected ways. People close to the situation claimed the mood around OTF wasn't loud or chaotic, but tense and controlled. Like everyone was bracing for impact. Allegedly, certain faces that used to be everywhere suddenly disappeared. Not because of beef, but because nobody wanted their name attached to the wrong conversation. Fans are shocked by how fast survival instincts can kick in when legal talk enters the room. One of the most talked about whispers involved a late night meeting that supposedly happened in Chicago, far from cameras and familiar hangout spots. According to the story making rounds, it wasn't about music or strategy, but about trust. Or who's solid? Who might fold under pressure? Who needs to be kept at arm's length? Someone allegedly said, "This ain't about who you love, it's about who you trust when it's real." That line alone had fans dissecting every old interview for hidden meaning. Emotions ran high when the conversation allegedly turned toward Chief Keef's cousin Tadoe, not because of anything proven, but because of what his name represents in Chicago history. Fans are shocked because that connection instantly reopened old narratives about alliances, rivalries, and unresolved street politics. Some believe his name being mentioned is just guilt by association, while others think it shows how deep investigators might be digging into the city's past. Family reactions are rumored to be getting heavier as well. One alleged insider claimed a family member broke down saying, "We already lost too much. We can't lose more to rumors." That moment reportedly caused a serious argument, with others pushing back, saying pretending nothing is happening won't make it go away. The family was left divided between protecting peace and preparing for worst-case scenarios. What really escalated online chatter was the claim that authorities aren't just looking at recent events, but years of history. Old social media posts resurfaced, old lyrics reinterpreted, old photos suddenly framed as evidence by internet detectives. Fans are shocked by how quickly art and reality get blurred when speculation takes over. People began arguing whether lyrics should ever be taken seriously in legal conversations, while others insisted patterns don't lie. Inside the camp, loyalty allegedly started getting tested in subtle ways. Not dramatic confrontations, but quiet observations. Who answers calls? Who avoids eye contact? Who suddenly has a lawyer of their own? One rumor claims someone was asked directly, "If they ask you questions, what you gonna say?" The room reportedly went silent. Emotions ran high because silence in moments like that feels louder than any answer. Meanwhile, fans flooded comment sections with theories, prayers, and warnings. Some begged Durk to stay focused on family and music. Others accused the system of trying to tear down another Chicago success story. A few even turned on people close to him, saying, somebody always talking." The divide among supporters grew, with each side convinced they were protecting him in their own way. Another twist that shook people was the idea that this might not end quietly. Rumors suggest prosecutors could want a public fight, something that sends a message. Whether that's true or not, the thought alone changed the tone of the conversation. Fans are shocked because trials don't just judge facts. They expose relationships, secrets, and narratives nobody can control once they're out. Friends outside the immediate circle allegedly started giving advice from a distance. Stay low, don't react. Let lawyers talk. Those phrases kept repeating across timelines. But staying low in the age of social media is almost impossible. And every move, or lack of one, kept feeding speculation. The family was left divided, watching the internet turn patience into suspicion. But what stands out most is how quiet Lil Durk himself has been rumored to be through all of this. No dramatic statements, no emotional outbursts, just focus. Some fans see that as strength, others see it as stress being carried alone. Emotions ran high as supporters debated whether silence is the smartest move or the most dangerous one in moments like this. As days pass and nothing is officially confirmed, the rumors only grow more detailed, more confident, more cinematic. And that's what makes this situation so volatile. Once people believe a story has momentum, they start filling in blanks themselves. Whether any of it is real or exaggerated, one thing is undeniable. The conversation has shifted from music to consequences. And in a city like Chicago, where history never really stays in the past, that shift alone is enough to make everyone involved move differently, speak carefully, and wonder how a life built on loyalty gets tested when the stakes suddenly feel higher than ever. As the days dragged on, the rumors started taking on a life of their own, growing more dramatic with every retelling. What began as quiet speculation turned into full-blown narratives about how everything was supposedly unfolding behind the scenes. People claimed the pressure wasn't just external anymore, but internal, sitting heavy on everyone connected. Here, fans are shocked because the stories paint a picture of a movement being tested not by rivals, but by fear of the unknown. One of the loudest whispers suggested that disagreements had started surfacing inside OTF about how to handle the situation. Some allegedly wanted to stay completely silent, trusting lawyers and time to do their work. Others reportedly felt silence was letting the internet control the narrative. According to one rumor, a heated exchange broke out where someone said, if we don't speak, they'll decide who we are for us. Another voice supposedly snapped back. One wrong word could ruin everything. Emotions ran high because both sides believed they were protecting the same thing, just in different ways. Fans online picked up on subtle changes almost immediately. Lyrics that once felt celebratory suddenly sounded heavy. Performances looked more focused, less playful. Some supporters swore they could see stress in Durk's eyes. While others insisted he looked calm and unbothered. The internet turned body language into evidence, with clips slowed down and replayed, captions reading, "Tell me this don't look like pressure." Fans are shocked by how quickly interpretation replaces facts when people are already on edge. The mention of Tadoe continued to ripple through Chicago conversations, even without anything concrete attached to it. Old stories resurfaced, old affiliations debated. Some argued his name being mentioned at all was irresponsible, while others felt it showed how wide the net of speculation had grown. The family was left divided watching these discussions unfold, knowing how dangerous it can be when names start getting linked together without proof. Behind the scenes, there were rumors of serious conversations happening at home. People claimed Durk was leaning heavily on family, weighing legacy against loyalty. So one alleged moment described him sitting quietly while someone close said, "You got kids now, you gotta think long term." That line hit fans hard because it reminded everyone that beyond the fame and the rumors, real families are involved. Emotions ran high as supporters debated whether the streets ever really let you choose peace once you're in deep. Another layer that stirred controversy was the idea that some people around the situation were more nervous than others. Fans started side-eyeing who went quiet first, who deleted old posts, who suddenly stopped appearing in photos. None of it proved anything, but in the court of public opinion, timing means everything. Fans are shocked by how silence and caution can be twisted into suspicion almost overnight. At the same time, defenders grew louder. Many argued that this felt like history repeating itself, another successful artist being dragged into rumors with no official confirmation. They always do this when someone from the hood wins. One comment read, racking up thousands of likes. Others pushed back, saying concern doesn't always equal hate. The comment sections turned emotional, with supporters fighting each other over what loyalty really looks like. The pressure reportedly wasn't just emotional, but mental. One rumor claimed someone close admitted, "It feel like everybody watching us breathe." That sense of being monitored, even if imagined, changes how people move. Fans are shocked, imagining how exhausting it must be to live under that level of scrutiny, knowing one mistake could be amplified into a headline. As speculation continued, some fans started questioning whether the truth even mattered anymore. The story had become bigger than facts, fueled by algorithms that reward drama and certainty. Every creator wanted to be first with new info, even if that info was just a remix of what had already been said. The family was left divided, watching the narrative spiral, feeling like control slipped away the moment rumors became content. What makes this chapter especially tense is the lack of resolution. No charges confirmed, no statements made, just a cloud of what-ifs hanging over everything. Fans are shocked because uncertainty is often more stressful than bad news. At least with answers, people know what they're dealing with. Here, everyone is stuck guessing. As Chicago continues to watch one of its biggest stars navigate this storm, the line between rumor and reality keeps blurring. Every move feels symbolic, every silence feels intentional, and whether any of this ever reaches a courtroom or fades away, the emotional impact is already real, because once doubt enters the picture, it doesn't need proof to change how people see you. It just needs enough noise to make everyone listen. By the time the rumors reached this stage, the atmosphere around the situation felt heavier than ever, like everyone involved was carrying a weight they couldn't put down. Conversations were allegedly happening in whispers, not because people were scared to talk, but because nobody trusted the walls anymore. Fans are shocked hearing claims that even longtime allies started questioning who should be in the room for certain discussions. When pressure builds like that, loyalty doesn't always break loudly, sometimes it cracks quietly. One story that kept resurfacing involved a tense exchange where someone close supposedly asked, "What if they try to flip people?" That question alone was enough to change the mood. According to the rumor mill, the room went still because it forced everyone to confront a reality they didn't want to imagine. Emotions ran high because the idea of betrayal, even hypothetical, hits harder than any outside threat. It's one thing to fight the system, another to wonder who might fold under it. Fans online started noticing that certain relationships didn't look the same anymore. People who once stood shoulder to shoulder were no longer seen together. No public fallouts, no disrespect, just distance. The internet took that distance and filled it with meaning. "That's not random," one fan wrote. "Something going on behind the scenes." Others pushed back, saying not everything needs a conspiracy. Still, the family was left divided, watching every change get turned into evidence by strangers. Another rumor that fueled debate suggested that lawyers were advising everyone differently, depending on their level of exposure. Some were allegedly told to completely disengage, while others were urged to prepare mentally for public scrutiny. Fans are shocked because that kind of advice implies people might be facing very different futures even if they came up together. That realization alone can create tension, envy, and fear all at once. What really stirred emotions was talk about legacy. People claimed Durk was thinking less about the present noise and more about how history would remember him. One alleged quote floating around said, "I want my kids to know who I really was, not what the internet say." That line hit supporters hard because it reframed the entire situation from gossip to generational consequences. The emotions ran high as fans debated whether the streets ever allow a clean exit. Meanwhile, Chicago continued to feel like it was holding its breath. The city has seen too many stories like this before, where rumors turn into reality or fade without explanation, leaving scars either way. Fans are shocked by how familiar this tension feels, like deja vu playing out on a bigger stage. Old heads warned younger fans not to jump to conclusions, while others said silence never ends well in situations like this. Another twist in the narrative came from claims that certain people were being advised to stay away from each other publicly, not because of conflict, but optics. According to whispers, it wasn't about guilt or innocence, but about not feeding speculation. Still, those absences spoke volumes to fans who were already on edge. The family was left divided, trying to decide whether protecting privacy was worth the misunderstanding it created. Online creators continued breaking down every rumor with dramatic pauses and ominous music, promising updates that never quite arrived. Something big is coming, they'd say, without saying what. Fans are shocked by how suspense itself became content, how uncertainty was stretched and monetized. Some supporters began expressing exhaustion, saying the constant speculation was doing more harm than good. Inside the circle, according to rumors, the emotional toll was undeniable. Sleepless nights, short tempers, people questioning choices they made years ago. One alleged insider claimed someone said, "You don't realize how heavy success is until it feels like it might get taken." That line stuck with fans because it captured the fear underneath all the noise, the fear of losing everything built from nothing. As this chapter continues without clear answers, the story remains suspended between rumor and reality. No official confirmations, no clean resolutions, just people moving carefully, fans arguing passionately, and a city watching one of its own navigate a storm that feels bigger than music. Fans are shocked because regardless of what's true, the emotional fallout is already real, and maybe that's the most unsettling part of all. Even if nothing ever comes of these rumors, the trust shaken, the stress endured, and the narratives created can't be undone. In a world where speculation travels faster than truth, sometimes the damage happens long before facts ever catch up. So now it's your turn to decide what you believe. After hearing all of this, after watching how the whispers grew louder, the silence heavier, and the pressure start changing how everyone moves, you gotta ask yourself where the line really is between rumor and reality. Fans are shocked because none of this feels like random internet chatter anymore. It feels like something unfolding slowly, right in front of everybody's eyes. Do you think this is just another case of the internet running too far with speculation? Or does the way people are moving, the way names keep coming up, and the way nobody is rushing to shut things down make you feel like there's more happening behind the scenes? Emotions ran high throughout this whole story because every version leaves you with the same uncomfortable feeling, too many questions and not enough answers, and that's what makes this situation so dangerous and so fascinating at the same time. Silence can mean strategy, or it can mean stress. Distance can mean protection, or it can mean cracks forming. The family was left divided, the fans are split, and the streets are watching closely to see what the next move will be. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think Lil Durk and OTF are being unfairly targeted by rumors? Or do you believe there's smoke because there's fire? What do you make of the Chicago connections and the names being pulled into the conversation? And if you were in that position, would you stay quiet and trust the process? Or would you speak out and try to control the narrative? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this debate is far from over. Make sure you like this video if it made you think, subscribe if you want the stories everyone else is scared to talk about, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. Because in this culture, today's rumor can become tomorrow's reality, and once the conversation starts, there's no rewinding it.